Hi, my name is Randy Lee. I'm with Apex Tactical Specialties. Today's date is April 1st, 2009, and this is not an April Fool's joke. We're here to demonstrate the fail-safe recoil spring plug assembly which prevents catastrophic failure of the bushing such as this. Once in a while, a bushing will fail. It has happened. It's happened to me. This is actually from a gun that I was firing during the midst of a match. It could be an incipient failure of the material. There could be a flaw or a crack in it. What we're doing is we're using technology that was based on competition firearms and is nothing new. It's called reverse plug technology, which is pretty common in a lot of the competition race guns, but it's never been applied to current carry, duty, or high-end operator types of firearms. Basically what we're trying to do is prevent this from failing with a captive spring plug. So if there is a crack, the gun will continue firing even if it were this extreme. What we've done is we've actually taken a whole bushing, a new bushing, and cut around the entire surface, leaving about a 1/16 of an inch of material left, just as for demonstration purposes. What we're going to do is we're actually going to insert this into a gun that already has the slide modified for the reverse plug, and then we'll fire it, and we'll see if we can keep the gun in operation, knowing full well that this could potentially fail at any time. The disassembly of the firearm with the reverse plug is fairly similar, but there is a couple of differences. Because the spring system is now captive, the spring plug has to be removed from the back of the gun. The way I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to pull the slide stop, capture the spring to prevent it from jumping, disassemble from the slide from the frame, remove the spring. I'd also like to thank a SIG Forum member for donating their firearm to be a guinea pig for this experiment. We're going to take his pre-fitted bushing, one that is actually functional, and we're going to replace it with the bushing that we've actually are forcing to fail. And we'll see how many rounds we can pump through this gun and keep it in operation. The Apex reverse plug system has an extended collar which is captive within the slide. That's what prevents the slide, the spring, and spring plug of a conventional version from going forwards once the legs of the bushing fail. And as I said, it's not new technology. It's just it's never been applied to heavy duty guns for carry or for operator. So we're maintaining and keeping the spring plug captive, or the spring and guide. Insert it back onto the slide, slide onto the frame. Insert the slide stop. Okay, now keep in mind this is the bushing that we've taken most of the material off. So we're going to load up some ammo and see how this works. We'll turn it off. Now that we have our ammo, I have 8 rounds of major power factor 230 grain hollow point ammunition. We're going to see how many rounds we can get through it. Typically, if a standard bushing system and spring plug were utilized, we'd probably see a failure within the first 2 to 3 rounds. I've got 8 rounds. Let's see how this goes. Going hot. Okay, the gun is still functioning. If you can zero in on the bushing, it's still in contact. We don't see any failure with it. So let's make this a little more interesting. Let's try bending this out a little bit and see what happens. Just to show that this wasn't edited out, I'm going to pull the bushing. And this is in fact the cut bushing. like I said, we're going to make this a little more exciting. I'm going to try bending out the bushing a little bit more. So we're opening the gap. So we've just increased the failure rate, or starting to fatigue that material. Right now, the legs of the bushing are probably at a 2 to 3 degree angle. And I want to add a little bit more bend to it. Okay, that should be good. So once again, make sure that it's going to unlock, because now with it so bent, it's going to cause a little bit more drag on the barrel itself. Reassemble everything. Okay, so remember this bushing is bent a little bit further out. I'm going to load up a magazine. Eight rounds. It's not the best display of shooting skills, but the gun's worked for 8 more rounds. I'm going to try 8 more. The whole point in the design of this particular part is to keep the gun in operation under worst case conditions. And I'm pretty safe to say that if I pulled the entire front end off this bushing, the gun would still operate.